Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 287. According to Elon, we might have hundreds of Tesla Robotaxis hitting the street very soon. And we have seen Elon saying he has been resisting AI for too long, but it's time to go all in. And it seems like he was not kidding. And Volkswagen is in serious trouble as they continue to shrink and is now sitting with an overcapacity of over 5 million units. And Tesla shared an Easter egg that nobody had found, and Tesla continues to hit more records. And GM is making yet another partnership to help them develop affordable EVs. Apparently, this is not something they can figure out themselves. All of this and much more in today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
So we might have hundreds of Tesla Robotaxis hitting the streets very soon. We had Tesla Silicon Valley Owners Club share a video of just how well the experience of the Tesla Robotaxi is.
This all syncs with your Tesla account. So what's amazing is every Robotaxi that I hop into automatically has everything that I'm signed in on my Tesla will also be signed in on here, and that'll be gone as soon as I step out of the Robotaxi. So I'll show you what I don't have. I don't have Apple Music signed in, so if I click that, whoops, I clicked, oh, now I got it. It lets me sign in if I want to do that, but I don't have Apple Music, so I'm not going to do it. If I go to something like Netflix, we have signed in, let's see. So we click Netflix here, wait for that to load up. Quick enough, there you go. So you can see it's on my kids' profile right now. So if I had my kids with me, or if I wanted to watch, the B movie or something, I have all the options available to me without doing anything. I didn't have to touch a thing. I just touch Netflix and boom, it's all right there. This is so cool how it's integrated. Again, in the Waymo, just doing that other Robotaxi comparison, they have music in there, but that's it. And of course, it's not synced to your accounts, at least as far as I could tell.
And Elon replied to the video and wrote, "We are working as quickly as possible to get 100 plus Tesla operating for autonomous ride-hailing. Can't use the word taxi or cab in California, in the Bay Area, and allow everyone to request a ride." So this is very cool and sounds like Tesla is getting ready to do a big expansion with a lot more Robotaxis. And this is something Tesla can easily deploy as they are making thousands of these cars every single week. So it's not a big problem for Tesla to get more Robotaxis compared to someone like Waymo that doesn't produce cars at all. So they have to buy them from a third-party supplier and then add all their sensors and computers and so on to them. And that is why someone like Waymo ends up with freaks that look something like this. Their new Waymo Robotaxi van we have seen before, where they get the van from Chinese Seeker. So this is Waymo's best bet on the next generation Robotaxis. And this is Tesla's. There is simply nothing that shows better what kind of Frankenstein monster the Waymo Robotaxi is compared to the fully integrated and much simpler solution with the Cybercab. And no, the LiDAR doesn't really make them safer. We have already seen how two Waymos are crashing into each other and had another Waymo crashing into a fire truck. Not a good situation. But not only does Tesla's Robotaxis look a lot better, but as Silicon Valley shared, the experience is going to be 10 times better with a Tesla. It has your music, it has your movies, it has your series, and your preference of temperature and so on. And eventually we'd also have Croc, which we have already seen being used as a tour guide. And since Tesla controls everything from production of the car to the full self-driving software to the user interface to the app integration, Tesla will be able to update their system all the time with new and better functions and features as we are used to from their cars. And on top of all of that, Tesla will be cheaper per mile. How is Waymo's Frankenstein monster ever going to compete against this? The short answer is they can't. And the way Tesla will expand from here on out is going to be very telling, because Nick also shared this post and wrote, Tesla has been spotted validating these areas in Texas prior to further expansion. And as you can see, they have been spotted all the way up from Tampa in north to San Antonio in south. If Tesla expands to these areas of this size this year, Waymo has no countermove whatsoever. They can't geofence such a huge area that quickly, and they can't drive on highway yet, so this would simply not be possible for Waymo to compete against this. But let's see how fast Tesla can expand, because that is really all that matters now. And have you ever wondered what is really out there on the internet about you? Like, really out there? It is wild, because after I learned about Incogni, the sponsor of this video, and have been using their service, I found out that even though I typically use VPNs and other privacy services to stay safe online, Incogni has found my data at 116 data brokers. That is pretty scary. But thanks to Incogni, they have removed my data from 113 of them over the past year and still have 3 in progress. So if you are not trying to protect your online privacy as I do, just imagine how many data brokers have your data. This is something that I personally think everyone should do, because just think of all that personal gold in the hands of identity thieves. They could open loans, or worse, in your name. And how do they get it? From these data brokers. They are like the black market of personal information. But you don't have to let them keep that power over you. Incogni do the heavy lifting for you. They are like your digital bodyguard. They'll find where your data is being sold, and they tell those data brokers hands off. So this is really something all of you watching should do. So click that link down below. You will not only support this channel and take back your privacy, you will get a massive 60% off with the code BESTINTESLA. It is a no-brainer for your online privacy, right? So if you are tired of being an open book in the digital world, click that link, use that code BESTINTESLA, and let's lock down your privacy together. Trust me, your future self will thank you. And we have had Elon saying that he has been resisting AI for too long, but now he's going all in. And he was not kidding around. Elon replied to a post about Tesla winding down efforts with Dojo, as he wrote, "It doesn't make sense for Tesla to divide its resources and scale 2 quite different AI chip designs. The Tesla AI 5 and AI 6 and subsequent chips will be excellent for inference and at least pretty good for training. All effort is focused on that. In a supercomputer cluster, it would make sense to put many AI 5 and AI 6 chips on board, whether for inference or training, simply to produce network cabling complexity and cost by a few orders of magnitude. One could call that Dojo 3, I suppose. This makes a lot of sense in terms of making all this scaling AI more efficient. And as Sawyer also pointed out, so it sounds like the dedicated Dojo chip that was previously in development no longer is in development, but they created a new version of Dojo built on AI 5, AI 6 and future chips, which thanks to the big performance upgrade will at least meet some of Tesla's need that the previous dedicated Dojo chip would have served. This will let them save money, reduce complexity and better align resources. Tesla will call a cluster of AI 5 and AI 6 chips Dojo 3. Worth noting Elon's comment that most training in the future will be inference for sole purpose of training, aka synthetic data generation. I think what Elon is saying here is that in the future a lot of the training process won't involve gathering and processing massive new real-world data sets. Instead, it will rely on inference from existing models to create artificial synthetic data specifically designed for further training. So even though Although inference and training are usually thought as separate, in this approach inference become a major part of training. I hope I interpreted all of that correctly, lol. Yes, we of course don't know, but this sounds about right, in my opinion. But I think Tesla will still gather a lot of real-world data from both their cars, but also from the humanoid robot. But as this will be the limiting factor, going with a lot of synthetic data or video data, as we have seen Tesla is able to use for their Optimus robot, would make a lot of sense as well. But it's not only Tesla of Elon's companies that are making huge progress in AI, but XAI is also speeding along, as Elon once again reacted to this post about Grok 4 is thinking way better than ChatGPT 5, high on Arc AGI 2 leaderboard. And as you can see, Grok 4 sits all alone up there in top, scoring 15.9% compared to ChatGPT 5's 9.9%. So even OpenAI's newest and most capable AI model is not even up there on par, not even close really to what XAI have. I think it's safe to say that Elon was right again. Grok 3 might be the last time any other model come close in capabilities. And Elon wrote Grok 5 will be out before the end of this year, and it will be crushingly good. So the progress for AI at XAI continues to speed up the exponential learning curve. Don't forget, we got Grok 3 in February, Grok 4 in July, and now we will get Grok 5 in November-December. So we went from Grok 2 in the beginning of the year to Grok 5 within 2025. And things are not slowing down, quite the opposite. So just imagine where Grok 8 will be by the end of 2026. I think Elon is going to end up being right about AGI arriving sometime during 2026 as predicted back in April 2024. And what Forbes called hype. But here we are in the middle of 2025 and we have AI models that is basically more intelligent than us in almost every way. And as these AI models become smarter, they can help making themselves even smarter again, and that is where we will have this intelligent explosion. And Elon's companies will be at the heart of all of this, with their lead in data center capacity, pace of building more compute, faster and bigger than anyone else, having the most real-world AI expertise than anyone else, and also the most real-world data, and has already overtaken other large language models like ChatGPT in just a couple of years. I still don't understand how people are still looking at Tesla as a car company, completely missing what is happening right now, and it will happen so fast when we look back in a few years that many will probably miss out on this opportunity like they didn't get Amazon, Netflix, Apple, and so many other disruptive companies. But AI and humanoid robots are going to be a big one to miss. I did dive even deeper into all of this AI in one of my videos this week, so if you want to learn more, check that one out, link down below. Volkswagen is in serious trouble as they continue to shrink and is sitting with an overcapacity of 5 million units. As Alex wrote on X, Volkswagen Group's reorganization plan. Volkswagen Group vehicle sales have fallen in the last years from globally just under 12 million to 9 million units, but it still has a production capacity of 14 million vehicles per year. Find the error. A 5 million and widening overcapacity. Yes, when we know how many articles are written about Tesla is down in sales and doom and gloom for the company, it is impressive how little that is written about the trouble Volkswagen in, even though they have lost 3 million units in sales in just 7 years. This is not just a little drop because of retooling a factory. This is a collapse and no one is talking about it. But as Alex continued, the sale trend continues to point downwards, so it should be clear to everyone that the Volkswagen Group will have to reduce capacity and lay off employees, and that's on top of the 35,000 employees that will leave the company by 2030. According to media report, a reorganization has been decided from the board due to the helplessness of the company's management to bring competitive vehicle to market. Until now, the Volkswagen brand has played a leading role in the group, but the figures no longer justify this, and there is no sign of any change. If there would be a leading brand, it would be Skoda, a brand that is doing comparably well. The management is now planning to remove Volkswagen from its special role and place it on the equal footings with Audi, Porsche and Triton Truck Division. A streamlined holding company would then take over the management. This should ensure faster decisions and more clarity, the management hopes. At the same time, the influence of Volkswagen's work council would be weakened, which could lead to resistance for any reorganization. While the reorganization is urgently needed, what they plan for doesn't address the root cause of the group's problem. The management is probably also unable to explain how these measures are supposed to lead the company out of the crisis. The good news is that the union is losing power, as many are now beginning to realize that it is part of the problem, not the solution. At Porsche, the IGM union has recently been supported by only 40% of employees. The same applies to the work council at Volkswagen, which has special rules which are incompatible with a successful company. If you imagine that employees without the necessary expertise are elected to the work council, where they can decide where models are produced, that tells you everything you need to know. Yes, unions have been great back in the days, but they are just becoming big, power-hungry agencies that just are looking out for themselves and don't really care much about the worker anymore. The crisis of the role of the CEO Oliver Blume, who can show no success either as CEO of Porsche or the CEO of the Volkswagen Group, is increasing. The reorganization is just one of many, and the really painful cut are still in the future, because nobody in Volkswagen management expects the autonomous vehicle of the competition to be on the market quickly, and this miscalculation can reduce the current 9 million vehicles per year to 4 to 5 million faster than most people can imagine. A painful decision at Volkswagen Group continues to be delayed, and nobody recognizes the seriousness of the situation or dares to speak out. The future looks very bad for Volkswagen Group. Yes, like I have been talking about before, most companies and analysts are in denial when it comes to how fast Tesla will be able to deploy the full self-driving supervised worldwide, and how fast full self-driving unsupervised will come after. But that would not only make the demand for Tesla's cars go up, but it will make the demand for the other cars without full self-driving software completely obsolete. It would be like buying a flip phone today. Sure, there might be some that will do that, but 98% of the population will go for the smartphone. The same will be true about the smart car. And no, an electric car is not per definition a smart car. It's just electric. And Volkswagen themselves have said that they don't expect to have a software-defined vehicle before 2028. But at that point, the software-defined vehicle will be outdated, as we will have truly intelligent cars like Tesla with Grok 15 integration in the car. So the car will be smarter than any of us, and it can drive itself. And Volkswagen will yet again sit with an outdated product. And GM is making yet another partnership to help them develop affordable EVs. Apparently, this is not something they can figure out themselves. GM and Honda to develop a vehicle together at mid-Chinese EV competition. So that is the new headline, but this is nothing new. GM is desperately trying to find someone to help them develop an affordable EV where they don't lose money making them. As they write in this article, General Motors and Hyundai Motors to deploy 5 vehicles together as they seek a lower cost amid growing competition from nimble Chinese rivals, although some analysts question whether the plan would work. And why would analysts start questioning GM's plans? Well, this is not the first time. You'll probably remember the partnership between Nikola and GM that we all said would not end well, as Nikola was clearly not what they said they were, and the partnership of course ended. Then GM made another partnership with Lordstown Motors that also clearly was not all it pretended to be, and that partnership ended as well. And then GM made another partnership with Honda to make affordable EVs, but that $5 billion plan to co-develop cheap affordable EVs was scrapped. And now GM is partnering with Hyundai to make cheaper EVs as well. It's like GM don't know how to do this themselves and are desperately trying to find someone that can help them not to die in this transition to EVs. But this is probably just GM trying to get on Hyundai's EV platform, and together with GM, Hyundai probably hopes they can get some success in China, as GM has some good relationship in China, as they have basically given all their Chinese market to the Chinese partner SAIC. If you don't know all the dirty details, I can highly recommend you connecting the dots video about how GM sold out America to China. But anyway, I don't think Hyundai is going to be able to save GM. I think this will just be yet another partnership in a huge pile of ended partnerships with GM. I don't think GM can be saved. They can be bailed out again, like in 2009, but I don't think they will survive on their own. But let's see how this partnership will go. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this news show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. A group of United Auto Workers, UAW, member is seeking to oust President Shawn Fain. Workers at Stellantis truck factory in suburban Detroit and an engine plant in southeast Michigan voted over the weekend to start the union process to remove its leader. The votes joined earlier ones by 4 other local UAW chapters, reaching the threshold needed for Fain's opponents to bring allegation of financial mismanagement, workplace retaliation and other issues against him to the federal monitor overseeing the union for potential discipline. Not really surprising, as UAW have had so many executives that has been found guilty in financial mismanagement. And Tesla's diner chef Eric Greenspan says that they have scaled down the menu of the diner to increase efficiency after Tesla has continued to see unprecedented demand. So there is still a line outside the diner, so I guess this is already a big success, so we should expect Tesla to make more of them over the next few years. And this guy shared a video of his first Robotaxi experience and wrote, "I called a ride-hailing vehicle from Stanford University. During the ride, we encountered what appeared to be a dead end due to construction. To my surprise, the vehicle immediately reversed out of the area, recalculated the route, and continued driving normally. I had been curious about how it would handle edge cases like this, and it managed the situation impressively well. Overall, I was very satisfied with the experience." And Tesla reposted and wrote, "Drives the same way humans would, but better." Yes, you need intelligence to handle situations like this, not LiDAR. And Tesla Chan wrote on X, "Let's cross the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge through a Tesla ride-hailing." And then he did exactly that. And you might think, what is the big deal? Well, this is something Waymo can't do. So Tesla is already showcasing stuff you can't do in your Waymo Robotaxi. And Tesla shared an Easter egg that no one had found. As they wrote, Tesla Diner Easter egg hidden in plain sight. The diner is designed as a destination pin for the Tesla Supercharger. Very cool little detail. And Tesla wrote about their Model 3 performance. Any other car with these specs would at least cost double as much or 3 times as much as Jason from Harkety showed in his review. But anyway, Model 3 performance is the most affordable sports car you can buy. Daily driver, ultra-low maintenance partner, and dopamine machine, all in one. Yes, Tesla's value for money is just unmatched, especially in the EV world, as Tesla delivers a car like this and earns money on it. No one else can really claim that just yet, even though Gary Beck thinks that everyone has caught up to Tesla in EV, but failing to understand you have not caught up when you are losing money selling your product. But there are much more benefits in owning a Tesla, as the Highway Loss Data Institute also released a new list of top theft targets. And of course, Tesla cars are some of the least stolen cars. As Tesla also wrote, anti-theft tech comes standard with every Tesla. Sentry Mode use your car's camera to detect, record and alert you to potential threats. You can also view a live video feed via the Tesla app. Pin to drive, always on real-time location tracking. Tesla are easy to use but almost impossible to steal. And if it gets stolen, you can also quickly turn on valid mode and the thief can't drive very fast either. And Nick shared that Lars Moravi, VP of Tesla Vehicle Engineering, says Tesla completed their first crash test with the unboxed process-built vehicle last month. So that's very cool, as this could mean that the Cybercab could be coming to the streets within maybe 5 to 7 months, if Tesla's old timeline for crash test to first deliveries are anything to go by. And according to another Tesla app, Tesla in new software update 2025.26 added an undocumented feature that is referred to as Smart Warning System. This will detect an overload rear axle and will provide a warning to the driver to prevent damage. Rear axle load exceed recommended limit, remove cargo or rebalance trailer to prevent damage. Very cool. And Omar wrote on X, Tesla's full self-driving took me from the Tesla diner in LA to Tesla's OG headquarters in Silicon Valley entirely on its own. In 5.5 hours of travel, I didn't drive even 1 second. And that is not a robotaxi. We Europeans are so jealous. And Cole wrote on X, $150,000 invested in Tesla right now will most likely make you a millionaire. And Elon replied, I think this is probably correct. Oh yes, if I only had $150,000 to spare. And Jim Cramer had some thoughts about Tesla stock as well.
Oh, hey, look, you're fine, Tesla. Tesla's morphing right now. It's in transition from being a car company to being a technology company, and you want to be in there because the tech is worth a lot more than what it's selling for right now. Don't worry, care where you bought it. I care where it's going to.
And Tesla Energy shared California's virtual power plants hit a new record of 534 megawatt in clean, flexible capacity. Earlier this week, a virtual power plant in California provided more than 535 megawatt of capacity to the grid, according to data reported by Brattle Group. This is enough to power more than half of the city of San Francisco at peak demand. In recent years, grid emergencies have triggered urgent conservation requests to keep the lights on. With California's growing virtual power plant, more than 500 megawatt of clean capacity can now be dispatched on demand. Unlike costly infrastructure projects with long lifetimes, a virtual power plant can be activated quickly to meet growing capacity needs. It runs without fuel and produces zero emission, delivering clean energy to the grid. Plus, every new Powerwall installed adds more power to the network. For customers, home keeps their own backup power while earning compensation for energy they share. Nice, and this is just from Tesla's virtual power plant, not including the maker packs and all that good stuff. Very, very cool. And in my Overflow News show this week, I shared that Tesla is still dominating in Europe with the Model Y, and that Tesla has set new sales record in both Japan and South Korea. But if we look at the first half of 2025 in California, the story is the same. Tesla Model Y is still the best-selling car of any kind in the state. And Tesla's Model 3 is actually the third best-selling as well. Very impressive. And this is all cars, not electric. If we look at only electric, we of course know how it looks. Tesla is the all-dominating force, no one is even close, and everyone else is losing money, like we have just seen with Rivian earnings report and Lucid. Both are still bleeding badly. So no, this is still nothing we can really call competition. So even though we have been hearing Tesla short sellers and haters screaming about Tesla killers and the competition is coming for more than a decade, well, we're still waiting. Or we can take a look at Beijing in China, as Ray for Tesla shared and wrote. Beijing loves Model Y, which is the top-selling vehicle of any kind in the first half of 2025, with 10,649 units delivered, followed by the distant second place holder BYD Quang Plus with 6,265 units sold. Model Y killers are nowhere near. And Tesla released yet another video of them testing full self-driving supervised, this time in Auckland, New Zealand. And we did not long ago see in an article mentioned that there were not many hurdles to get full self-driving supervised to New Zealand, so hopefully this means that people in New Zealand can get the software very soon. So now we have seen Tesla software being able to handle driving supervised basically everywhere on the planet, from Australia, New Zealand, Paris, London, Rome, Berlin, Amsterdam, Madrid, China, and of course all of US, really showing what Tesla has created is a general solution that will work everywhere. And Gwen Shotwell wrote on X, "Get on board, we're going to Mars. SpaceX is now offering Starship service to the Red Planet. We are excited to work with Italy Space Agency on this first-of-a-kind agreement. More to come." Oh, very exciting. The future is going to be wild. And before we end with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to my newest supporters of this channel. My new YouTube member, Shipu Shabalala, or something like that. Thank you so much for all your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this show. Thank you. And let's end off with a bit of fun. You know how people like to lower their cars to make them look cool? Well, this guy might have taken it a bit too far. That is all we have time for in this new show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help this video out a lot so others can find it on YouTube. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. And if you're already a subscriber to the channel, thank you so much for the support. But if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel, or become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out as some extra perks like early access, ad-free versions of my videos, exclusive videos. So hit the members button or check out Patreon to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on X. I post pretty much all the news as it comes out and a lot more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. It is also possible to support the show without becoming a member or a patron. There is a donation option down below or on my website bestintesla.com. You can also become an executive producer and get news articles, exclusive videos, behind the scenes, and access to all my research charts and spreadsheets also on bestintesla.com, or as simple as hitting the super like button. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.